Hello, I'm Eric Fritz, President of Huntsville Track Club, and welcome to our first ever virtual annual business meeting. We just wanted to get together, communicate with you, the club, and let you know what's going on. We'll go over some of the numbers. We'll have each of the different areas. We'll speak a little bit about what's gone on last year, what's gone on next year, going on this coming year, and just try and touch base with the membership. So 2020 was a tough year for sure. So many ways it was a tough year. We hope everyone has ridden out the storm and continues to ride out the storm, and everyone's healthy and happy and did not get overly impacted. If any of you out there were overly impacted, we're here with you. We're all family. We want to make sure that our track club is one big happy family. But here at the club, as you know, the past year's been very slow. I'm sure that as we go through the different areas and discuss things, you'll see that. I have not formally seen the numbers yet or anything like that. So you'll be seeing them about the same time I do. But the numbers, I'm sure, are low in terms of revenue and all that kind of stuff. But we did do some things last year. We have 24 events that we put on throughout the year, and last year we put on 14 of them in some capacity. Actually, there were 8 of them that were virtual, and then the other 6 we actually put on in person, and that was kind of early on before things kind of went south, and then just a couple there towards the end of the year. But yeah, it's been a different kind of year. We only did have our one meeting last year with the elections. Fortunately, that all went through before COVID came in. But we haven't really felt it wise to get everybody together in terms of a indoor sit-down dinner type meeting. Our participation last year was obviously way down as well. I don't have those numbers. I can probably update this before we actually publish or send that out with the notice, just in terms of what the actual numbers were. But we've been still trying to pull that together. It's a little different this year. One of our one exciting thing this past year is that we did get the ribbon run included in our platform in terms of registration, which really helps us tally things up in terms of what the club does and what it doesn't do a lot better. But we are excited about 2021. There are vaccines going out. I will say personally, my parents got their first shot on Thursday, so I'm very excited about that because they're in their 80s, and I feel a lot better about that now. And now maybe I might be able to go visit them. But the we are committed to moving forward with the club events, and we're committed to doing everything we can to try and have them be real in-person events. That doesn't mean everything's going to be just the way it was. For certain, it will not. We're going to be taking all kinds of precautions. There's going to be differences in the way things work. Coming up next week, we're going to have Mountain Mist kickoff, and that's going to be a big event, and it's going to be exciting. But we're going to be keeping things safe with wave starts and not a lot of congregation, things like that. You come, you run, and unfortunately you go home. We don't get to have the big party at the finish line like we usually do, but we'll get there eventually. But right now it's still in everyone's best interest to keep things safe. So we have Winter Winds coming up right after that. As of today, Winter Winds registration is not actually open because we're having issues with a location to run the event. Huntsville City Schools is not allowing any events to be formally registered on their properties, and that one uses the Grissom facility. So we're working with Parks and Rec to try and get another facility quickly in place. We think we've got everything close enough to where we're going to open up registration this weekend, and hopefully we will see you all there. Once again, we'll be doing wave starts, things like that. It'll be different than it usually is, but we will also we're also going to restrict that race to just the 4-mile race, because doing wave starts with the short 2-mile, 4-mile format is just not going to be really feasible this year, but we'll be back with that next year. UAH, we've already got approval from UAH to have the event there. That one we'll do as well. And then we're working on the ones going out from there. The 10-miler, I'm sure we'll be going out in Mooresville. There's a lot of space out there, so we can do that one properly. And we'll start worrying about Cookie Dash and Cotton Row. As you've probably noticed, everything we're doing though, registrations are going to be opening them much later than normal. So don't expect. Normally we'd have half our races probably already opened up by now. So with that said, I'm gonna wrap things up here. I will say that we will be having. We'll be sending this out to you as it'll say in the message, and we'll have another online meeting where we'll invite anyone who's interested to come back and ask questions. If you have questions about anything, about how we're doing things, about the numbers, about anything, we'll have a meeting for that, and look for that in your email inbox. And if you haven't yet, we would go out and renew your membership. It's that time of year. All right, so that's about it. I will appreciate it. I'm going to move on to our next speaker, and I think that's going to be Shar. So thank you very much, and we'll talk to you soon. Go.
Okay. In 2021, I'm hoping to start the speakers program again. We had one several years ago with Kathy and Rob talking about the ultra running. At some point, I would like to have a speakers program which talks about the beginning of the Rocket City Marathon and the beginning of all those races from when Harold started it, and maybe get Jim Oakes to come on, and then maybe even have Dwayne talk about the new Rocket City Marathon. But I think that would be a good panel to have for our next speakers program. So that would be like my next speakers program, and then after that we can go on to different things from like Barbara and her let's see, Sean talking about the Olympics. And so that would be probably the next one, but that would be kind of the way that we would probably go on the speakers program for 2021.
All right.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I think
What
that's.
do you think will? Well, I guess that depends a lot on COVID, obviously, but probably not till summer or fall before we have a real in-person meeting.
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
So people are getting the vaccine now. I think a lot of that's going to be depending on how the vaccine, comes along, whether we have actual meetings or we have to do it virtually. But we shall see how that plays out. But like I said, I'm very optimistic about the vaccine rollout. I saw that Megan Obrega got her first vaccine, and I think that what I've seen is that you can actually sign up through the Huntsville Hospital to get online to get into your vaccine. Now, on the 28th, I get my next shingle shot. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But anyway, so that's kind of what I'm looking for in 2021.
All right. Thanks, Shar.
Yeah.
Hi everyone, I'm Lauren Stegan. I am your secretary and membership coordinator for the Huntsville Track Club. just have a couple of numbers for you and kind of an overview of some major things we discussed at our meetings this year. At this point, obviously very early in 2021, we're sitting at a little less than 600 members. So that means there are pretty big handful of us that still need to go back in and renew for the upcoming year. And of course, we hope you'll stay with us in the track club. So please feel free to contact me at membership@huntsvilletrackclub.org if you need any help renewing. Just numbers on membership, last year by the end of the year, we were down a little bit from 2019. Hopefully we can bring that back up this year. And currently we have a couple of exciting opportunities if you'd like to get more involved with the club. We are in search of an Adopt a Mile and an Adopt a Trail coordinator. And not this year, but the following year, we'll need a new race director for the spring road race, the UAH 8K. But this year we will need a Huntsville half race director. So reach out to any of us if you're interested in possibly filling those positions. This year is also an exciting year because it's the 50th anniversary of the Huntsville Track Club. So make sure you're checking your email and watching out for announcements about the exciting plans we have in store for that. And then I just have a couple of highlights from the meetings we had. Of course, many of our meetings were focused on how to hold races safely because we've been dealing with COVID, of course. But some exciting things to let you know. Bill Penny made a 5-year commitment to sponsor the Cotton Row runs. So we'll continue with that exciting partnership for the next couple of years. Of course, we're working on the 50th anniversary celebration. And a little earlier in the year, our president led us in a discussion about ways to be more inclusive in our track club community and on the board. And we always welcome your input on that, as well as ways to increase and incentivize membership. And we also, we already approved a new race director. Matthew Jones is gonna help us bring back the Harry Williams All-Comers Track Meet. And I think that's all I have for you. Renew your membership. Let me know if you need any help.
Thanks, Lauren.
Hey, Dink Taylor, HTC VP of Equipment. Not a whole lot went on in 2020 as far as equipment. I don't think we even rented to more than maybe 1 or 2 races. I just rented equipment to a Polar Plunge this past weekend. They're doing a 5K this morning. I think it's over like a 60-person race, very small, over in the Fort Payne area, I believe. But anyway, not a lot went on. The biggest change we had for equipment was we have a big storage unit that's gotten really, really full because of the finish line takes up so much space, and there was a place that used to store it for us. Well, anyway, they quit. And New Year's Eve, I was working on the New Year's Eve run and the New Year's Day runs, and I was over at the shed, and they just happened to be cleaning out the one right next to us, a smaller spot. And I got with Eric, and we scooped that up to give us a little bit more room. Right now, I've actually got all Mountain Mist stuff in that new section, and it's like allowing me a staging area for the next race that's coming up, and we hadn't figured out exactly what we're going to do with it yet, but I've already filled it up with just Mountain Mist. The good news is when Mountain Mist hits next weekend, that it'll be back empty. But not a lot went on in equipment. I already heard Eric talking about Mountain Mist a little bit next weekend. Things are going to be a lot different. Not going to be the fun, usual event as usual, but we are having a run, and people need to be thankful for that. Yeah, they're going to show up, and yeah, they're going to sit in their car, and they're going to show up at their time to run, and then they're going to basically get their stuff and go home. But they get to enjoy a day out on the trails. As far as 2021 goes, I have applied for probably 90% of the races. We already have a permit in with the Huntsville Police Department. So we're planning, just like we planned last year. We just ended up canceling a lot of the races. But I'd say 90% of the permits are in, except for maybe whatever's going on. And I think there was only one race left, maybe the half marathon. And I think we're still needing a race director for the half marathon. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So I have to usually have a race director to put down on those parade permits. But anyway, 2021, I expect to be a great year, and maybe we'll get back to some normal things, and this pandemic will end. Y'all have a good 2021.
All right. Thanks, Steve. Go.
Hey everyone, this is Linda Scavarda, the VP of Communications. giving you an update. The website calendar is currently updated. You will see going forward, due to COVID, if registration is open, if registration is coming, if we are having to cancel the race due to these lovely loopholes we're having to go through. Watch for emails of upcoming races. Watch for, anything really. Let's see. If you guys have any anything you would like to share with the running community itself, we do have the newsletter in which we do accept people's stories. If you have a COVID story, send it our way. We're more than willing to communicate that with the running community. Be on the lookout for Winter Wins. It's coming. I promise we're gonna have something. That's all I really have, you guys. Continue to run, enjoy the lovely winter running, and that's it. I'm not a camera person, so here we go. See you guys.
Thanks, Linda.
Hello, Kathy here, treasurer of the track club. I'm here to talk a little bit about the finances from 2020. As you can imagine, since COVID struck, we had, I guess, a majority of races that didn't even happen. If they did happen, most of them went virtual. So, we still have the same bills as always, regardless of COVID. And so if we have fewer races with fewer income coming in, then you can imagine that we're probably down for the year, which we are down for the year. We're down for equipment rental. We did like a quarter of what we did before. Membership is still strong, so that's a plus. Newsletter ads are about half of what they always are. Races are about a half of what they always are. Our expenses wise, we still have most of the same expenses as we always do. The storage or insurance, mailings, the newsletters. What else do we have? The webpage and hosting, all that. So that's still, those are still pretty strong. Our donations are down because most of our donations are tied with races. So if the races don't happen, then the donations don't happen. But we did have a good showing for the Harold and Louise Tinsley Scholarship Fund. We have, we're adding to the account $14,800 for the year, which is a little bit more than even last year. So there are some good things that came out of the coronavirus. We have 3 athletes that we're given the scholarships to. We have James Kane, Sage Betts, and Cameron Cox. So we give $2,000 each of those. So that's $6,000 that we're giving from the scholarship fund to those student athletes. I don't know what else to really say. There's not too much going on. We have a profit loss of $14,000 for the year, which we tend to have a profit loss, so it's not as bad as it really could have been considering we didn't have so many races. We're still doing okay though. We still have money in the checking account. So that's kind of why we keep a little extra in the checking account, because of years like this that we didn't predict it'd be a pandemic, but there's always something that could happen. So that's why we do like to keep a little extra in there, because eventually we are going to need it. So we're still in good shape. We're looking forward to next year, hoping that we can get back out there and get some races going and getting a lot of participation and getting the track club kind of back where we're a thought on everyone's mind. If you have any questions, feel free to message me about the finances. And until next time, I guess that's it.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Donna Palumbo. I'm the race director for Cotton Row. As you all know, we unfortunately had to cancel Cotton Row for 2020, but we are working hard to figure out a plan for 2021. We're not sure of what date we will hold the race, but we will have a race of some sort. Earlier this year, earlier in 2020, we refunded people who had signed up, but we had 690 people who deferred. We're hopeful that we'll be able to, with the vaccine currently being rolled out, we hope that we will be able to put Cotton Row on the way that we usually do. but we are working hard to figure out what the plan looks like, and we'll roll it out to you as soon as we have an idea of what we're going to do. We appreciate your patience with us last year, and we look forward to having a great event. Thank you.
One question for you, Donna.
Yeah.
For all those people that were deferred to next year, I'm guessing so that they don't have to really do anything. They're already going to be registered for next year, and we just send them an acknowledgement?
Yes, the people that have deferred, we will send you a note as soon as we have a plan confirming that you are indeed registered for the race.
All right.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Dwayne DeBartoleben, director for the Rocket City Marathon, or co-director. My wife, Dana, is also a co-director, and she is not here right now. So that means I get to speak uninterrupted. That's pretty nice. So 2020 ended up being a little disappointing for us. We started the year with some pretty big plans for the race, and as the year progressed, we realized that we had to scale back further and further, and we finally went purely virtual. And that ended up being okay. We're still actually in the process of mailing out finisher gifts and medals to those who finished, and we appreciate everyone understanding the changes that had to come online because of everything that happened this past year. From a financial perspective, since this is a business meeting, we actually broke even for the year, which is pretty amazing. We spent a good bit of money on the first part of the year for some advertising and working toward a comic-related theme, and then we had to scale that back, and we ended up doing pretty well in terms of kind of breaking even, and we're happy with that. So looking ahead for this next year, our goal, our intention from this point is to have a normal race. We're going to approach everything with planning as if the Rocket City Marathon and half the marathon and the marathon relay and the kids marathon will all be conducted normally. We will put a cap on the number of runners for the marathon and the half marathon. Currently, we're looking at, I think, about 1,400 for the marathon and about 700 for the half. We'll evaluate things as the year progresses and situation unfolds a little bit more. We're going to open registration for the marathon on February 1st. And if you'll take a look at our website, rocketcitymarathon.run, on the landing page, you'll be able to see a little bit more information about the registration dates for the various aspects of our race. We'll also have, I think, some exciting news that we'll announce probably in another month or so about some partnerships that'll help the race expand even more in the future, and we'll be talking about that some down the road. Yeah, so at this point, we're looking forward to what we hope is a return to normalcy for racing. And when we get toward the race, maybe in the October-November timeframe, if there are special considerations that need to be taken at that point for COVID-related concerns or anything else that might be on the horizon, we'll address those in real time as we get closer. But for the moment, like I say, the goal is to have a normal race by next year. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else that maybe I should mention. I'm going to look at Eric, our president, and ask him.
I got one question. I asked the same thing to Donna. I actually don't really know, but do you have a bunch of deferrals to next year, to this year from last year and things like that? And how will that be handled?
Right. Yeah. So that's a good question. If you didn't hear Eric ask about deferrals from last year to this year, we do have quite a few deferrals, both with the marathon and maybe some with the half marathon as well. We'll be sending something out to everyone to let you know that your deferral has been transferred to this year and that you're active and ready. No need to send emails asking questions about that just yet. We will send out an email to everyone that has been deferred. That'll probably take another 2 or 3 weeks. We're in the process right now of continuing to mail out all of the prizes and everything. So that's consuming our free time right now. But when we finish with that, we'll go through and get the race set up and make sure that everyone that deferred is aware and has positive confirmation of that.
Okay, and I'm thinking through this in real time. I apologize.
No, that's good.
I suppose you'll defer them over, so they'll be registered for this year's race. So they should eventually, whenever you get to that point, be able to go in and see that they're in the list of people registered.
Correct.
So
correct. Yeah,
they
we
can
will
always
manually
verify
transfer them
themselves.
into the new race, and then they'll be able to verify through their Run Sign Up account that they are indeed registered.
Okay.
So, yep.
Cool.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Dwayne.
Thank you.